listening to Somos Hollywood, a podcast where Latinos in film and TV talk about their recent projects and the ongoing fight for more inclusion in the industry. I mean, we're already here, and we're not going anywhere. So yeah, apúrense. We are ready. We are talented. We are Hollywood. Somos Hollywood.
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Thank you so much for taking the time. I appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. And happy
Hey,
early holidays.
oh yeah, definitely. Congratulations on the film. It was just such a lovely piece. I saw it a few weeks ago. Um, William Hurt's original performance is iconic, in my opinion, and won an Oscar. Did you watch that film or read the novel before making this movie, and or did you try to avoid them to, keep your own independent interpretation of the character?
No, I read the book, I reread the play, I watched the Babenco film, and I was able to get a copy of the 1993 musical.
Nice.
Yeah.
What was the reason behind that? Like, did you just want to immerse yourself into the character and the story?
No, I think for me, the beautiful thing about all art is that it constantly references itself. And
Hmm.
so I wanted to find little moments of paying homage to the past.
Mm,
Um, for the people who like love the entire, IP. Um, and for me, like it's just like it's one giant story. I mean, I know that this IP has existed before, but even within it, we were making nods to Singing in the Rain, Lake Girls, a bunch of the other musicals, and so it was one of those moments where I was like, oh, this is fun for me to like I'm a part of a larger story,
right.
And so I don't shy away from other people's work. It doesn't like affect me because I can't help but do it my way.
Yeah.
I can't, you know what I mean? Like I know that other people don't want to get influenced, but I'm just like, no, if they did something that's really cute, I can give them a nod, and then also keep doing it my way. Because I think that I did a pretty distinct interpretation.
Oh
And
yeah, definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
What resonated for you the most with this character, Luis, and the journey he was on?
I have to say, their emotional arc is what resonated with me the most. I think that oftentimes when you come from marginalized communities, you inherit this belief that there's something wrong with you. And then you come up with a bunch of ways of like making up for that belief. So
Hmm.
like you have to be funny, you have to be smart, you have to be this, until you really recognize that like you do have self-worth. And I think that
Mm,
that story arc really, as an artist, is something that like really it opened up my heart to Molina.
mm.
Just because I think it's a very natural and human thing, that experience. And I think when you work in an industry that's constantly telling you that you're not enough or getting no's, it's an easy translation. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful answer. On that note, do you think a film or a remake of Kiss of the Spider Woman in 2025 could have been made if your character, I know William Hurt, I said again, he does a phenomenal job, but he wasn't part of the LGBTQ community. Do you think that it needed that?
I think it needed a really strong actor. I think it
Mm,
needed someone who could oscillate between playing Molina and Kendall Nesbitt. And I think it required a lot of dedication and hard work because I know it's a big, beautiful film, but it is an independent film, and we shot 11 numbers in 17 days, and we shot I think 90 something pages in 3 weeks.
wow.
And so I think at one point I was shooting 6 to 11 pages of monologue every day, on average. But I don't know. I brought my own level of experience to it, and I do want to like because you brought up William Hurt quite a bit. If you think about it, that film came out in the 1980s during the height of the AIDS epidemic, and
Right.
he lent his stardom and gave honor and dignity to a community that
Hmm.
was left to die.
Yeah.
And weirdly enough, in 2025, there's a rampant amount of Latino phobia and LGBTQ phobia. Like trans and gender non-binary people are being called terrorists, which is such a ridiculous notion. And so
Right.
it's almost like poetic how both of the films are making a stance and saying we love you, we see you, and we're giving you the Hollywood treatment.
Yeah, the story of Kiss of the Spider Woman pushes really hard against traditional ideas of masculinity,
Yeah.
the kind that's deeply rooted sometimes or a lot in the Latino culture. You always hear about machismo. I have uncles that are, they don't understand like, certain things, and they might be a little bit more, um, a little bit more conservative than most. Growing up as a gay Latino man, were there aspects of your own experience navigating identity and masculinity that helped you understand the emotional stakes of your character?
Yeah, sure. I will amend. I'm not a gay. I don't identify as gay. I'm pansexual or queer.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
No, but that's okay. But were there things that influenced my entire life experience I had to bring to it. And I do think that I don't live in the world of, I think the binaries are inherently violent. I think that they are also limiting to one's self-expression and creativity.
Hmm.
And I think that in my youth, I tried really hard to fit into the stereotype masculinity. And then I went the complete opposite end of the spectrum and wanted to like break all of the conventions that I thought were shackling me. And then the older that I got, the more that I realized that that was also exhausting. And
Mm.
and so I think that the reason why I stress like that binaries are just like exhausting and tiring is because it's a performance and for who, and I think that it ends up becoming the more that we can give ourselves permissions to just be whatever it is that we are, without judgment. I think the more liberating everybody, including people who aren't even in the LGBTQ community, can have the freedom. I mean, like, I know my cousins perform hyper masculinity so as not to look queer. But who are they performing that to, and why? Who do they think that they have to, like, what are they living up to and why?
Mm.
Like, just say the joke or wear the shoes or do whatever you want. Like, no one's thinking about it as hard as you are, and you're working overtime just to fit in. It's kind of stupid.
Right. There is, of course, a really fantastical element to the film, which is so fun to watch. How did changing the tone and the atmosphere feel for you as an actor, going from a jail cell to playing around in more elaborate set pieces?
Oh my God. I mean, we worked with some of the best in the industry. Colleen with the costumes, Scott with the design. It felt like the first half, it felt like I was going backwards in time.
Mm.
I was living in Gene Kelly and Fred Astaire's like fantasy. We had these glorious Technicolor sets, and we had to change our accents, we had to change our mannerisms, we had to change the way that it became a more performative proscenium style acting, right? And everything was perfect. Everything had to go with the music, and that was difficult in its own way, but a lot of fun. The other side, the prison was, it felt like a prison. I mean, we were shooting in the dead of winter in Uruguay, and we would get into the prison cell before the sun came up. We would leave after the sun went down, and we were working very, very hard. And so it became this like Stanford prison experiment,
Oh my God.
where we were just locked into this space. Um, but fortunately, I got to work with like the incredible Diego Luna, and he's vastly charming, and Bill also has an incredible sense of humor. So even though it was difficult, it was a lot of fun. I don't think I've ever had that much fun.
Yeah, Diego Luna's great. Jennifer Lopez is great. Was there a particular moment during filming with Jennifer where you thought, oh, no wonder she's considered one of the greatest performers of our lifetime?
Yeah, the first time that we really acted with each other was a table read for the musical number A Visit.
Hmm.
And, I thought we were just going to read it through and talk about it. And I wasn't really sure what to expect. But she just started going full on and singing full on. And so I remember just throwing my glasses and saying, if you're giving me 100, let's go to 100. And we ended up crawling on top of a table, and we were inches from kissing each other. And Bill was just sitting there like, oh yeah, that's the ticket. And that became our poster, you know?
Oh wow,
Yeah. And
that's
I,
that scene. Okay.
yeah, it was just one of those moments where I was like, oh, like, it doesn't matter if it's the rehearsal, if it's the audition, if it's the take, if it's what. I think her commitment on giving it 100% every single time, is admirable.
There's a lot of competition this year for the Best Actor Oscar, but I think it's safe to say that you're on the short list of about 10 to 15 actors who could generally earn a nomination, in my opinion. What would that mean to you in a role like this? Not just because, of personal glory, but for the fact that a nomination would automatically encourage more people to seek out the film.
I mean, something crazy. I was talking to someone who brought up a statistic that wasn't in my wheelhouse, but only 5 Latino men have been nominated for lead actor at an Oscar in the 100 years of its existence, and only one
Yeah.
has taken it. Jose Ferrer in Cyrano de Bergerac. And so
Mhm.
I think it would be historical. It would change my life. I mean, my mom immigrated here and worked at a drive-through, and this year I got to be a lead in an incredible Hollywood film. So to go from that to even potentially get nominated to be in the conversation just feels like my ancestors' wildest dreams.
Yeah.
So it would be pretty incredible, especially given like all the stuff that's happening with ICE and the country. Like I feel like to have the immigrant community take a win like that would be pretty epic.
Yeah, it's been 14 years since Demi and Bichir got one, so I think it's probably about time.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you so much. I appreciate you taking the time and congratulations on the film. And can't wait to see how the film does during award season and can't wait to see what you do next.
Oh, thank you. And I really appreciate you spending time with me this morning.
No, of course. Have a happy holiday.
All right. Happy holidays.